Hey, this is Terry Hale, commercial real estate trainer and wealth builder, with a very important message just for you. Uh, are you interested in commercial? I sure hope that you are. Being in the right place at the right time is very important for your success, but also having the right knowledge and being in the right place at the right time will ensure that you stay wealthy. So, what I want to talk about here is what I call the market shift. And is now a good time to get into real estate? Of course it is. Is now a great time to get into commercial? It's the best time. Why is that? Well, let me justify it. Right now, currently, we're coming out of this so-called recession. And some people are whining and crying and, sitting on the sideline and complaining about their wealth, while other people are seriously becoming wealthy. And what's the difference between the two? Is it one that somebody took action and made it happen? Or does it come down to the mere fact that there's a little loophole that people are using? Something that's a little different, something that actually works, not just a bunch of lip service, but as they say in the business, something that actually produces results. So let me share the loophole with you in a moment. But before I get there, again, I want to address the market shift and talk about why it's so important that you get in before it's too late. All right. Make note of this. There is certain property types that you should pursue for cash flow. The first one's apartments, and the second one is self-storage. Why apartments and self-storage, and why do we not look at all the other properties that are equally as hot in the marketplace, like student housing or senior living facilities or hotels, motels, or retail office or warehouses or land? Why is that? Because there's people that are still today currently going into foreclosure, losing their homes, and where do they transition into? They transition right into apartments, and apartments are super hot, super hot. When people lose their home and they downsize, they have to put their stuff somewhere. Closets aren't so big in these apartments, right? People accumulate stuff. Some people are pack rats, right? Some people have things of nostalgic value, sentimental value, and they're not going to part with their things. They're their things. So they put them into a self-storage facility. Now, don't think that self-storage facilities are these big and scary property types. They're actually owned mostly by independent operators, like mom and pop. So you're dealing with folks that are independent operators who don't typically understand marketing. So they always typically have some type of vacancy situation. Or if there's a management that's operating and they're not a professional management, they're lacking in effort, they're lacking in knowledge, and they're lacking in energy as well, because they don't understand the dynamic of filling boxes. Now, I want to share something here with you that is the loophole that I've been talking about. I call it my secret loophole here. All right. So with commercial, it's very easy to look at a commercial project, any commercial project, and say, okay, so there's two sides to the deal. There's one that's operating at its highest and best. That's considered an asset, right? If something is an asset, then it's being sold at retail or even at a higher value because they know that it's going to be appreciating. And people that use this capitalization rate formula, which is a cap rate formula, they buy specific type of projects using this measuring stick. All right, very simple formula, but they're using this formula to buy. And if you're buying on a cap rate, then you are paying retail or even more for the property. Now, we don't use a cap rate formula because we don't look at the asset class properties. We look at the other type of property, which is what they refer to as a liability. It's a liability because it's not operating at market occupancy and it has upside. That's a good thing, and that's the loophole that I'm talking about. You see, walking into a bank currently today, sitting down across from a table like this, sitting there and asking for a loan, it's very difficult to get purchase money. So when you're buying property, you're doing something called loan to purchase, right? Loan to purchase. This also means that it's going to be a recourse loan. You personally sign. You have to put down typically 20 to 30, maybe even 50% down payment. And you have to personally sign and sometimes even do something called cross-collateralization. You're collateralizing other assets that you own to offset the risk factor for the bank. Who wants to do that? That's ridiculous. You put a bunch of money down and you got to wait to make that money back before you're actually positive. There's a much better way. And here it is. All right. Now, with this technique, you don't need any of your own money and you don't need your own credit. We're going after something called non-recourse loans. I want you to write that down, non-recourse. We'll talk more about non-recourse later as weeks come, okay? But non-recourse means that you do not personally sign. So your credit, your FICO score, the TransUnion, the Equifax, Experian, that 3-digit number, it's totally irrelevant. You could have a 500 FICO or even a 400 FICO and it doesn't matter. All right. That's number one. Number two, you don't need any of your own capital to close because the project is so attractive due to the upside factor. It's very easy to transition what we call bridge capital, and you're bringing in a little bit of money to seal the deal. When I say a little bit of money, I'm talking typically it's 5 to 10% as a down payment. So if you're looking at $1 million property with 5%, that's only $50,000. Okay. So I know you're getting excited here, but let me share the loophole with you. So because we're pursuing projects that are considered in a liability class and not an asset, there's something amazing here. What's amazing is the fact these sellers are looking at their liability and they want to get out from under it. They want to sell it. They understand that you can't walk in and get a bank loan against a liability, so they will go ahead and carry paper, which is referred to as seller financing, of course. Seller financing on average per project my clients are pursuing, it's 80 to 90, and even in some cases, 100% seller financed. Non-recourse, no credit check at all whatsoever, with very little what they call skin in the game. So that's the loophole. Focusing on projects where we can get discounts, focusing on projects where we can get great terms, and focusing on projects that have upside. That's where the money's made. Think about commercial as just a box, right? All commercial projects are nothing more than just a box. We want where the money's already spent. The box is already built, okay? So the boxes are sitting there already built. What we do is we fill those boxes by doing some marketing. Marketing is very, very inexpensive to get the message out to the marketplace that we have a box that needs to be filled, regardless of the type of property. You fill it and it starts producing monthly passive income on autopilot. You're never going to do the day-to-day operations either. I mean, it's absurd, right? I mean, could you imagine someone like Mr. Trump managing one of his hotels? It's unheard of. Look, if you want to be ultra wealthy, just do what ultra wealthy people do. Landlords do not make the same amount of money as someone who educates and delegates and moves on to the next project. It's all about setting yourself up for financial security for yourself and for your family. And right now, currently, this market shift that I'm speaking about, there's opportunity today. There's more projects that are offered with seller financing than ever before. I'm talking true opportunity. This is a real business and you can make some serious, serious cash flow with it. So I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for watching and joining me. And until next time, get rich and stay wealthy. This is Terry Hale. Make sure you visit my site at terryhale.com for more information. And I look forward to meeting up with you here again real soon. Take care.